Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz, my company is Hello From Liz Mathews, and I am so excited to spend some time with you today. It is Friday, September 22nd. It's been 2 weeks since my last video, and this is episode number 71. In the span of those 2 weeks since my last video, I have posted 2 special edition YouTube videos. I will link them below, or you can just bounce back in my YouTube feed and see those 2 videos. They were all to do with my girls' trip to the attic. I went to Arizona with Elizabeth and Can't Stitch, Liz. We had a fabulous time, and I dedicated 2 videos to that trip so that I don't have to go back over everything and take up so much of your time today. I could talk for hours about how great that trip was. So if you want to see more details, pop back to the most recent video. In addition to those 2 special edition YouTube videos, I am going to be listing all of the details about anything I chat about in this video today in the description box below. You don't need to take notes or write anything down. I go back and watch my video chronologically and list things out for you to make it really easy to reference. If you heard something that you want more information about but you just kind of missed, it's all down there for you. I want you to just be able to sit back, stitch, enjoy this video, and I thank you so much for being here. We're just waiting for a big storm to hit here in Maryland. They're expecting like a hurricane level storm to come this afternoon. So I feel like I'm like under the clock. I'm like, while the sun is still out, I need to get this video up. I am still loving my Friday schedule, but I have to say, this Friday is a little busy. I had a hair appointment this morning, lunch with mom, grocery shopping. I am cleaning the house as soon as I get off this chat with you, because Dad and Eva have made it to town for a visit. They're with my aunt. They've been in town. This is their second night, and then they're gonna spend 2 nights here with me. So I just need to get the house ready for company. We like to be good hosts, so there's some tidying to do. But yes, before the storm hits, I am getting this up, and oh please, let the electricity and the internet stay on. That would be great. So I have just 3 quick announcements for you, kind of pertaining to Hello From Liz Mathews news, shop news, stuff like that. And then I've got a selection of whips for you. I have 4 cross-stitch whips. Who am I? If you've been here for a while, you know that's kind of atypical of me. I generally only have time to stitch my designs, but I really kind of reprioritized and given myself a little more time to stitch things that aren't Hello From Liz Mathews, and it's really just kind of brought a new level of happiness to stitching, and it's recharged my love of stitching. I don't know how to describe it. It's been really, really good for me, both personally and for the business. I'm just feeling like a whole new love for this craft. So I have 4 whips for you. And then if you did happen to see my attic recap video, then you will know that I have started knitting, and it is all the fault of my friend Liz. She is one creative lady, and while we were in Arizona, just like vegging on the couch, catching up and chatting, I saw her knitting on the other side, and I was like, oh, that looks so good. Hook, line, and sinker, I am now a knitter, very, very basic. And I brought my projects to show you. It's now grown to 2 projects. And I'm a total novice, a total beginner. We'll chat about that in a little bit. But let's get started with these like announcement type things I wanted to chat with you about. The most exciting thing, first and foremost, is the Jingle Ball. The Jingle Ball is a virtual event that is put on by Steph of Lindy Stitches. This is the 2nd year. Last year was the very first premiere Jingle Ball event, and it was so much fun. Last year I bought a ticket. I attended the virtual event from the comfort of my home, just as you can. Everybody is invited. Time zone, like from anywhere, like nothing matters. You are invited. to this virtual event. And the Jingle Ball hosts a collection of 12 different cross-stitch designers who all come together, and within the event they do meet and greets, they do special workshops and classes that are all hosted virtually, and then they all have a storefront as well. So it's just a really fun thing to do in December. So this year's event is the 1st through the 3rd. It's a Friday to a Sunday. I am super honored to be one of the guest designers. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm just happy to be involved and included in the Jingle Ball this year. I've been working really hard to get some great classes, some great projects, some great designs together for you. And just today, newsletters started going out about the Jingle Ball. More info has been added to the website if you kind of want to check it out and see what's going on. Tickets go on sale October 13th. So there's not too much to do right now besides scope it out, see what you might want to sign up for. There is merch on the website. Just yesterday, I placed my order for 2 t-shirts, and I think they already shipped. They are lickety-split fast. So go check the Jingle Ball website out. While you are there, be sure to subscribe to the Jingle Ball newsletter, which I will also link below in the description box, because if you want all of the details about the Jingle Ball delivered right to your inbox, that is the best way to do it. That way you won't miss anything. But my plan is, as we get closer to the date that class tickets and the Jingle Ball tickets go on sale, the 13th, I will have a special edition YouTube video going over what I am offering so that you have all of the details and know if you might want to take a virtual class with me. And then as we get closer to the actual event in December, I will do another special edition YouTube video showing you what will be in my storefront so that you can be sure to snag anything that might be limited edition. Now, don't panic when I say that. As soon as the words came out of my mouth, I was like, what's actually limited edition in my shop? I don't know. So check out those 2 videos. No panic needed. It's going to be a great event. The meet and greets, storefronts, we're doing some special video footage for it. It's going to be so fun. If you attended last year, then you know. If not, be sure to make it this year. It's a great way to kick off the holiday season. So more on that later, but sign up for that newsletter for sure. Next, I wanted to talk about a question that I have gotten repeatedly about the pumpkin house cross-stitch pattern I released in August, about a month ago now. This is the pumpkin house, and it is one of my favorite pieces I have ever designed ever. And you guys seem to really like it too, which makes me so happy. A little spoiler for you is I'm thinking about expanding this into a whole series. So more on that when the next set of releases come. But you know, I can't leave something alone. I just like to go with it. So this was actually part of the Kitten Stitcher Halloween box that came out way back in 2022. So I have just been sitting on this, and I was so excited to share it with you. And there's more to come because this is super cool. I love it, you love it, so why would I stop there? Anyway, that is not the question. The question is, oh, by the way, this is still not framed because I still plan on doing a tutorial with you about how I joined these 2 pieces of fabric, so I didn't want to fully mount to that yet. The question, coming back to it full circle, is because on the cover sheet for this chart pack, some colors look a little different, and I totally get it. It's a valid question. When I saw the cover sheet, I knew exactly what people were talking about. They are referencing this triangle border, both here and down here. And in the photo, these golden stitches that you see, they are showing up as white thread, but it is in fact the dark gold thread that I used. And I think in the photo there's just so much contrast between the dark stitches and the light that it blows out a little bit and looks white, but it is charted correctly. You do use the darker gold thread to kind of embellish those triangle bands. So take a look again. That is dark gold. Ooh, it's it's the same color that is used in the moon. So just to put everybody's mind at ease, there were no mistakes as far as I know on that pattern. It is supposed to be the dark gold thread. If you have any questions about that in the future, please send them my way. I'm happy to answer and clarify anything. Always, always happy to look into it and make things right. And again, I have a corrections page on my website. My website is hellofromlizmathews.com. There's only one T in Mathews as a friendly reminder. And there is a corrections tab on there where you can print out any corrections that I am aware of and replace the incorrect pages in your chart pack. So that's always a good place to reference. But luckily, knock on wood, you will not see a corrections page for the pumpkin house. Okay, there is another brand new Hello From Liz Mathews pattern on the block. This is available in the Hello From Liz Mathews membership to Pattern Stashers and All Access members. And it is something that I have been so excited to share with the membership. So this is available now if you would like to subscribe and get it. It is Flowers and Friends. There's a close-up for you. This was beautifully model stitched by Rindy Richards, and I'm obsessed with this. I think this turned out so beautifully. There are lots and lots of details, including a dedicated video about this new release in the membership. If you join now, you will have access to this exclusive monthly pattern. My patterns are available from the 15th to the 15th of each month, so this is here now, as well as I think I had 3 other mini patterns that I released in the last month or 2 that you can also get. So there's a lot there for you to enjoy if you're a Pattern Stasher or All Access member, but I just wanted to show this beauty off to you. I love the jewel tones. It's all autumnal, but not like Halloween. And I always say, if you want to change the colors, have at. I love when you do that, but it's the color palette of this piece that's kind of unique to me that I really just love. And I think it just, I love it. So I have to share it with you. It's there for you in the membership. It's a multi-page download, kind of like the traditional Hello From Liz Mathews patterns. Flowers and Friends, there for you. Now, I'm not going to chat about it too much because all of the details and questions are being answered in the membership feed. So this is just a show off of a really, really beautiful piece that I love. And I hope you love it too. So more there. It's linked below, of course. I think that's all I had to chat with you about as far as announcements go. Let's do whips. Yay. Okay, I have 4, as I've already said. The first one is something that I don't know why I'm showing you this. This is really nothing exciting. I have been working on since Liz and I were at the attic. It is ink circles arranging cacti. And this is something that Liz and I both gravitated towards and picked up kind of independently from each other. And then when we realized we both liked it, it became more of a memento piece from our trip. So I, of course, kitted it up. I chose the wrong colors for the substitutions. I'm so sorry, Liz. I did plan on sharing the substitutions with you, but they're wrong. So I'm sorry, I will not be providing that. But we did have to substitute 3 of the 5 colors. It only takes 5 colors to create this beauty. And let me show you where I am and what I'm doing. That's ink circles arranging cacti. And without completely repeating myself from the attic recap video. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Oh, it's so sweet. Okay, so if you go to the attic, you will see a lot of models that are stitched on 56 count linen by Jean, the owner. And you will just, I mean, on top of so much beauty everywhere you look, but I can't do 56 count linen. It's just a little too tiny for me. But I did pick up a piece of 46 count linen because when at the attic, you try to make it a little smaller. And that is what I did. I've actually come to love the 46 count linen. I do have to say, I didn't think I would, but I used it for this little memento piece, and look how sweet and tiny this is. The model was stitched on 30 count. This is 40, like, look how small that is. Oh, I love it. So my intention when I started this was to indeed stitch the whole thing. But then the charm of the miniature size got to me and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do half of it. And then I'm gonna turn it into an ornament and it's gonna hang on my tree because I love nothing more than a sentimental ornament. So this is actually nearly the finished size. All I have left to do is the fill-in of all the cacti. But I am doing a little addition because this is a memento piece, right? This is a memento piece now. So in order to just take that sentiment up a notch, I'm gonna do some custom stitching on this side of the cactus. And in fact, when I shared that I planned on doing this, Liz said she was gonna do the same thing. So I charted some initials and some text up for both of us. So these were all of the options that I sent Liz. I have no idea which one she's gonna choose to go with, but there's a little something for everyone here. LM and LB are our initials, the year 2023. Some of these say the attic. I know which one I'm leaning towards. I don't know which one Liz is gonna pick. These, you can see, these three, wow, that was bad. These three and this one all require a lot of back stitching, which I kind of love. I know back stitching is like very polarizing. I love it. These two call for full cross stitches, so I can't wait to see what Liz goes with. I'm gonna make you wait and see which one I choose. Any guesses, any thoughts? The plan, again, is to put that right up this side of the cactus. And I am actually, I was saving the fill-in for last, but now I think I might save the personalization for last. I think from here, I'm gonna do the fill-in, and then last thing, I will do the personalization before I FFO this into an ornament. So this is, what linen is this? This is 46 count Duxbury linen from Fox and Rabbit. And as I mentioned before, I'm really liking it. I can use one thread, like that's really all you can use on 46 count linen. I typically stitch on 36 count with 2 threads. So one thread just feels like a little quicker, a little easier. And it almost feels like my stitches lay more nicely. You get a pretty nice coverage with just one strand of thread. So I actually bought a pretty large piece of this fabric at the attic, so I have more of it. You will see it again. I will stitch on it again. I will design on it again. It's really nice. It's modeled, it's gorgeous, as is all Fox and Rabbit fabric. But this piece, it's riddled with mistakes. I think 2 things contributed to me being off in my count. One is because I was working on 46 count for the first time. I spent some time chatting as I was counting, and then also I spent some time flying as I was stitching, and it just, I don't know where I'm off. I believe it's in the tall cactus. Oh, thank you guys for telling me what kind of cactus this is in my last video. I have forgotten now, of course, but I have it written down. And you guys told me that like there will be crevices in these tall cactus and owls live in them, and I have like a whole new goal. Next time I'm in Arizona, I want to see this. I think it's super cool. Anyway, as I was saying, I am off, I believe, in my count from this tall cactus, which is what I based everything else on. So I am not a rip it out or frogger to make things perfect. I'm gonna go with it and make it worker. That is what I did. If Tracy were looking at this, who designed this piece, she would see my errors, but I think she would say, if you love it, I love it, keep going, and that is exactly what I'm doing. So by the time I film my next video on Friday, that will be at least done its stitching. I don't know if I'll be able to FFO it because there's so much going on right now between getting up to Hobby House to teach at that retreat in October and also Jingle Ball. I am slammed, but I can at least get that stitching done. I can't wait to share it with you next week. So again, Arranging Cacti by Ink Circles. Okay. In my Tiger Lily mini keeper bag, I actually had time and the ability to stitch on the plane. It is the first time ever that has happened, and I did it. This piece that I packed, this sun-soaked piece, this was a Hello From Liz Mathews membership exclusive. It was perfect for plain stitching. I realized I forgot to bring out my display show-off board. Wish I had it, but I'm not gonna get up and restart now. But anyway, this is sun-soaked, and all I have to do for this is continue filling out the borders with ecru thread. So there's no color changes, it's just stitch, 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 and I actually got quite a bit done on the airplane. You can see that bottom. The bottom is done. I did make a point to, I stitched from the right to the left. That's the way I like to stitch. And rather than go zigzag back and forth, I went from the, did I say right to left? That's what I mean. I went from the right to the left. I ended my thread. Started again, right, left, ended thread. Because my stitches look entirely different going this way and this way. And I wanted it to be really uniform, and I think it's a really nice look. So I just have a little bit more mindless fill-in to do. I'm not sure when that will happen. This piece will be done by next year when it will be a general release. And my plan is to turn this into a pillow in which my white stitches go into the seam. So it's supposed to be a full coverage border, and I think that will be a bit of easy stitching when I need some easy stitching. But I actually did that on the plane. It was very fun until I lost light. Then everything came to a screeching halt. This is what I'm stitching on right now. And this is another case of, I can't talk too much about it. It's for the Jingle Ball. You're gonna laugh. Like, you can see this morning I was stitching, and then I was like, oh, I gotta go to my appointment. I literally just closed it and Velcroed it. So there's not too terribly much to see here. If you are a super sleuth, you might have some ideas about this. Maybe if you're watching the Jingle Ball page. That's all I'll say about that. But let me show you where I am. That's all the further I've gotten. This will be very familiar to what I shared with you in my last video, I think number 70, and it's very similar, but I guarantee you this is a different piece of fabric and a different project entirely. Similar patterns. Wink, wink, wink. So that's where I am with that. This, of all of my stitching, is my #1 priority right now. That is work. The ink circles, that is pleasure, and you gotta balance it, I guess. And then I didn't think that I had any progress to show you on my dad's stocking, but I actually do, just a bit. So I figured I would share it with you. I have missed this so much, but it's just not what I have been able to do lately. It's not easy stitching, it's not quick, and it takes a bit of like prep, like finding your place and maybe coloring it to make sure you're not, it's just not, it takes a lot of prep. Okay, but since my last chat with you, I have added maybe a bit more of the tree and then a red car, and I've started building a paint bucket and a cup of coffee over here. So that's what it looks like. This is Santa's Workshop. It is a stocking design by Cooler Design Studio. I am stitching this for my dad. You will hear me reference this in my videos, calling it my dad's stocking. And it's really really a joy to stitch on. I have been loving it, but just haven't had time that I need to dedicate to sitting down and putting stitches in on this. At one point I thought maybe I would have this for Christmas this year. I don't think I will. In reality, it's slow going, but next year for sure. And I can't wait to show Dad this stocking when he gets here tomorrow. I'll take a picture of the two of us together with it. And he knows I'm doing it. He thinks it's super cool, and I can't wait to show it to him. So that is Santa's Workshop stocking. And those, my friends, are all of my cross stitch whips this week. My plans are to do that blue piece that I couldn't tell you much about, and also finish arranging cacti for sure, because I think Liz has done the fill-in on her, so she's going to be done in no time, and I just can't wait to see that come together. While all of the memories of that trip are still super fresh in my mind. I was also thinking about adding a cactus to the back piece. More on that later. Let me get that piece finished. Baby steps to completion. But I do have 2 pieces of knitting to show you. Apparently knitting bags are a thing that I need to get into, because that was a cross stitch bag and this is a paper bag. So let me first start with the piece that Liz taught me to knit on when we were in Arizona. Of course, as I said, I'm a novice. I'm just realizing I don't have the names of either of these patterns to tell you. I haven't printed out the pattern, they're on my phone, but I will link them below if you're interested in them. The first, wow, okay, I'm gonna have to learn how to be a knitting shower offer. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I clearly don't. Anyway, where are you? Okay, so this is what I started in Arizona with the locally dyed to Tempe yarn shop. Someone messaged me kindly and said it's actually not Tempe yarn shop, it's Tempe. It's pronounced Tempe. I did not know that. So these are the skeins of yarn I got at Tempe yarn shop, and this is the continuation. Oh no. I'll get better at this, I promise. This is the continuation of my striped scarf. It is growing and I'm becoming far more comfortable. Don't mind that motorcycle. I'm becoming far more comfortable, like, with everything to do with knitting, with holding it, to if I drop a stitch, I don't panic anymore because I can generally like follow it down and recapture it. So I'm getting much better. I clearly have room for improvement as far as showing my knitting off, but that will come. You know, like I've discovered I really do like aluminum needles over bamboo and stuff like that. So I'm in the very beginning, like, nervous, but also super excited phase. So there it is, coming together. What is this? Maybe like 7 inches. So I'm just gonna keep going. I think I should be able to finish this. I hope I'm not being too ambitious this winter. Okay, this bag situation is not working. Okay, I'm just gonna put that aside for now. And then I decided to go to my local yarn shop one day. I was having just like a very intense work day. I was like, I gotta get out of this house and have a little bit of a reset and a break. So I looked up local yarn shops to me and I discovered there are 2 or 3, but one is Black Sheep Yarn Shop, and this is in Timonium, Maryland, and that is where I decided to go. I had, of course, looked on Ravelry as per Liz's suggestion. I have a Ravelry account if anybody is on there. My Ravelry account name, is that what you call it, is Liz Mathews. Apparently I was a knitter who set up a Ravelry account back in 2008 too, and I knew that I knitted back, you know, many years ago. I didn't know the exact year, and on my Ravelry account that I set up in 2008, it said that I had been knitting for 6 months. everything has gone out of my head. I don't have any finished products. I didn't have any supplies, nothing. So I don't know what happened to it, but I'm back on Ravelry where I found a free pattern from Pearl Soho for a super simple scarf, because my goal was to look for a pattern that was like the most basic so that I could really get comfortable with form and motions and not do anything fancy. And that is exactly what I found. If I'm not mistaken, and it's linked below, it's called the Elementary Scarf or Wrap. So that's what I wanted to go get the supplies for, and I did, in fact. How am I supposed to hold this up? How do you do this? I don't know. Here's my progress. I don't even know why I'm showing you this. It's gonna be an entire scarf that looks like that. Just a very simple purl on one side, knit on the other, 75-inch scarf that is going to take me forever, but you know, I will be a really good knitter when I get there. This yarn, it's rolling. I don't know why it's rolling up on itself, but I have actually done a good inch. I've done an inch. They have a long way to go. It's very tiny yarn. It is called a fingering weight yarn. It's ultimate sock yarn, and it looks like this. It's a Malabrigo yarn. Tips about how to hold things up. Facts that I should be telling you, all the things are very welcome. I have not fully dived into the knitting YouTube sphere yet. I will learn a lot when I do that, I'm sure. But for now, I just wanted to share my happy little progress with you. Look at this shade of yarn, which I'm now realizing I guess you like what you like, and I like this shade. So anyway, just a new little something that I've been working on. I mentioned it recently. I've just been feeling like super crafty and wanting to do everything and learn all of the hobbies, all the crafts, all the handwork. It's been really inspiring and just igniting for me. So I'm really happy to learn how to knit. It's great for when I'm downstairs with Joe or watching TV because I don't have to follow a chart, especially with the two pieces that I'm doing now. They're very repetitive and I can just kind of get in a groove, and that's been really, really nice. So I'll keep you posted on my progress. Very, very basic beginner knitter, but anything textiles, anything with my hand, I love. So thank you for letting me share that with you. I am going to wrap up now. That is actually everything that I wanted to chat about with you on this Friday. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. I'll be back next week for a weekly checkup. Until then, happy stitching. So long.